I'm going to begin by asking a very simple and basic question. What is the most appropriate message for a rabbi to deliver 4 days before the high holiday of Rosh Hashanah? That is, if you happen to have been standing over here, what would you speak about? After all, except for a twist of fate, you might have been the rabbi standing here, and I would have been in the audience. What would you speak about? To me, the message is clear and distinct, contained in one simple word: hachana, or preparation. To fully maximize the meaning and power of Rosh Hashanah, one has to be properly prepared. Yet, hachana, or preparation, is no simple matter. In fact, it has to be engaged on 3 distinct levels in 3 different areas. To maximize fully the message of Rosh Hashanah, one has to be properly prepared. First, let's raise the question. What is Rosh Hashanah really all about? What is the most obvious theme? To answer the question, think of some of the other terms that we use to describe Rosh Hashanah. Yom Hadin, Day of Judgment. Yom HaZikaron, a day wherein Borei Olam remembers us and metaphorically reviews our total account balance. You may not, but I will assume that I have transgressed. I am sure there are people that I have insulted in the course of a class, getting too excited, too involved. I'm sure there are people that I have not returned their phone calls yet. Certainly, I have wronged people in one context or another throughout the year. As well, I'm sure that there have been times when I have transgressed Klapei HaMakom regarding Borei Olam himself. As, for example, not providing the right psak halacha in a particular situation. And I must make amends. Making amends is no easy matter, neither to the person that I have wronged, nor to Borei Olam as well. But Rosh Hashanah is about making amends, trying to rectify the wrong that I have done. How do I do so? I engage in what's known as teshuvah. Teshuvah is inseparable to the holiday of Rosh Hashanah. I must think about teshuvah, read about teshuvah, and actually engaging in what teshuvah is really all about. There are phone calls that I have to make sure that I make amends to those people, engaging in the act of teshuvah itself. For me, the most clear-cut way of engaging in teshuvah is by studying the works of the Rambam, Maimonides, and Chot Teshuvah, and the Drashot of Rabbi Soloveitchik on teshuvah itself. These works have been most inspirational for me, helping me to engage in the mitzvah of teshuvah itself. After studying these works, after engaging in the concepts, the ideas, the emotions of the Rambam and Rabbi Soloveitchik, I find myself much more able to make amends to those whom I have wronged. Equally important to me is preparing myself for the blasting of the shofar itself. It reminds me of Yom Hadin, Day of Judgment. Shofar has, for me personally, all kinds of associative meanings. It reminds me the very first time that my grandfather taught me how to blow shofar, telling me how our family for the last 5 generations all wore to shofar, all people that blast the shofar for the kahal itself. So therefore, I must review the halachot of shofar, blasting and hearing, as we do in our daily basis in halacha classes. But studying the halachot of shofar only defines the halacha itself and does not get me to the essence, to the philosophically deep meaning as to what the mitzvah really is all about. To get to the essence of the mitzvah of shofar and its overwhelming significance, we must study the Talmudic statements about what shofar is all about. Study the Midrashim, study the Direi HaChamim, study the words of the rabbis. So Ajay Gaon has 10 distinct reasons as to why we blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, as opposed to the Rambam, who has one very clear-cut reason. Studying these reasons, studying these words of the rabbis, gets us to the essence of what shofar is all about. When I think the shofar brings us back to the very beginning of our history, Akedah Yitzhak on one hand, and on the other hand, taking us far into the future of Tikavos V'Gadol L'Cherotenu. When the ultimate messianic moment takes place, we will blast the shofar, announcing the arrival of Mashiach. This teaches me how powerfully significant shofar is on the holiday of Rosh Hashanah. For me, the most moving moment of the entire holiday of Rosh Hashanah is the blasting of the shofar itself, and we should therefore familiarize ourselves with the halachot and the philosophical and spiritual meaning of the shofar. Finally, as part of our hachana preparation for the holiday of Rosh Hashanah, I will strongly encourage you to take home a machzor and study it. Certainly, parts of the machzor are well known to all of you. But there are certain poetic creations, the songs we love to sing, that capture the essence of what Rosh Hashanah is really all about. These poetic creations, by the most brilliant of our poets throughout our history, take the holiday, Rosh Hashanah, from one plane to another plane, from the physical plane to the spiritual plane. Studying these poetic creations, understanding the words, the meanings, the ideas, the concepts, gives one a completely different appreciation as to what the holiday is all about. I reiterate and summarize. Rosh Hashanah is a significant and powerful holiday, known as Yom Adin, Day of Judgment. We have to attempt to make it into a spiritually significant and meaningful holiday. We do so through hachana or preparation, by properly studying the texts of Teshuvah, of the Rambam, Soloveitchik, or others, engaging in the mitzvah of Teshuvah itself, making amends. Who over here does not have to say I'm sorry to one person or another? Parent to a child, child to a parent, husband to a wife, wife to a husband, to your friends. Each of us has to think seriously and deeply about the kinds of amends that we have to make to those people that we have wronged, and certainly the spiritual lapses that we've engaged in the past year have to be addressed. We should study these texts of Teshuvah to inspire us to make proper amends. As well, at that moment, 4 days hence, when we hear the shofar itself, we should try to understand the deep spiritual significance and meaning of the shofar itself by studying the words of the rabbis as they teach us what the shofar is really all about. And finally, by studying the Mahzor, reviewing those poetic creations that capture the mood and spirit of Rosh Hashanah, which will propel us forward. May this year bring us proper preparation for the holiday itself and the attainment of our proper spiritual goals. Shabbat Shalom.